Having an obvious and undeniable need for money, a person can earn it in different ways, including unusual and unique ones that no one will teach him anywhere. Or rather, they will teach him, of course, but not everywhere and not everyone. After all sorts of clever tricks are not widely publicized by smart people, due to their high usefulness, which is lost immediately after all people learn about them, that is, learn about very profitable ways to earn money. Well, smart people themselves, of course, come to something when, so to speak, they generate brilliant ideas that allow them to earn good money in the most effective way. Smart money, which will be discussed in this article, is earned in exactly this way, that is, in the most effective and simple way. Most people are used to earning money in the ways they were taught. Some, figuratively speaking, weave bast shoes, some bake pots, some grow bread in the fields, and some serve the king for money, and so on. In other words, there are many ways to earn money, because there are many things that need to be done, for money or for something else, but they need to be done. But, as you already know from my previous articles, if you read them, of course, not every job for money is useful, that is, profitable for the person doing it. That is why we are talking about smart money, and not about money earned anyhow, because even a dumb monkey can do something simple for money, but not every person is capable of something smart. Today, any person, in principle, can earn some money, even without any education. With a little effort, and, say, cleaning a toilet for money, or unloading or loading something, you can earn a living. But that's not what we need. We all want to work less and earn more. We don't want to toil for money like damned slaves from morning to night. We want to, but there are few jobs that match our desires. In any case, a job that is enjoyable to do and that brings in good money is not lying around on the road. It certainly exists. There are enough parasites in our society, but it is difficult to get, because it is not meant for everyone, this job. Well, now let's ask ourselves the question, what is smart money? Smart money, friends, is money that is earned or mined by smart people, by using their minds, and not by exploiting other parts of their bodies. For some people, smart money is money that they earn through fraud, because that also requires using their brains. I have met such people in my life. They tried to deceive me, and some of them succeeded. Their whole life is a constant deception. Some of them play so much with their total lies that they begin to believe their own lies, which are already starting to hit them. Lying is in a person's blood, he cannot live without it, so many people earn money through lies, sometimes putting in considerable intellectual effort. There are so many different scams on the internet that you just wonder how many parasites our society has bred, who parasitize on it. Some of them have the audacity to ask for money openly, for all sorts of good purposes, to help people, for a profitable good cause, and so on. These primitive, impudent rats cling to any opportunity to profit at someone else's expense. When these cunning bitches see an active, purposeful, hard-working person striving for some great goals, they immediately write him off as a sucker, and look for an opportunity to suck on him like a leech on a healthy body in order to parasitize on him as long as possible. Such parasites will suck your blood as long as you breathe, as long as there is at least one drop of blood left in you. These fucking Ostap benders have always been and will be, and you need to know how to fight them properly. You just need to not be a sucker. Then these parasites will die themselves, because a parasite cannot live without wrapping itself around someone else's body. But in our world, simply teeming with suckers, it is a real paradise for parasites now. That is why their population is increasing at an unprecedented rate. So, friends, if you are normal people, that is, those who understand that in this world you need not only to take, but also to give, then keep in mind that your stupidity is bred for a parasite. And smart money is not only the money that you can earn with your mind, it is also the money that you can, thanks to your mind, not squander. Money should not only come to us correctly, but it should also leave us beautifully, in the right direction. And if you allow parasites to parasitize on you, then, no matter how smart you are, when earning money, because of their incorrect spending you will seem stupid, because by wasting your money in vain, because of your stupidity you are wasting your energy, which you are deprived of when earning it. Social parasites have their own attitude to smart money. They reason simply, why work if there are so many idiots around, from whom you can extract money in different ways? That's how they pull it out. I'm telling you the words of parasites, that's how they think and act. They don't spend too much energy to get money, while many people spend a lot of energy to earn more or less good money. And you need to, not to save your energy, being a complete lazy person, that's also pointless. You need to spend it wisely and effectively, on goals that make sense to you. So, effective management of your energy, in which it is spent in minimal quantities on earning money and in greater quantities on achieving some great goals, this, in my opinion, is very smart. Living an interesting, meaningful life and at the same time being well-fed, isn't that smart? I know people who consider themselves very smart because they earn a lot of money while working themselves to the bone. I once thought so too, and also worked like that and earned quite well, until I realized that it was not smart at all. Is it normal to work from morning till night and then spend the money you earned on all sorts of nonsense in order to seem like a successful person? So, not only do these people I'm talking about spend an incredible amount of energy to earn money, wearing out their bodies, but they also spend this money on all sorts of nonsense. They spend it on showing off, to seem cool. These are ideal losers, from my point of view, again. To be really smart, you need to look for an opportunity to arrange your life in such a way as to do less thoughtless, exhausting, routine work that squeezes all the juices out of a person, and instead do more intellectual, meaningful work, because our brain does not wear out, it only develops from work. And of course, this work must bring you good money, on which you can live like a human being. Let the tractor do hard and dirty work, it is iron. And a person must be able to create such machines, which in turn will create and service tractors so that they work for a person. Otherwise, why do a person need brains? In the meantime, let's see what profitable things we can do now so as not to overexert ourselves with unnecessary work and at the same time earn good money. Trade is one of the ways to earn more or less smart money, and you can do it without any education, you just need to know how to buy cheap and sell expensive. Judge for yourself, a peasant worked hard in the field all day to grow bread for you and me, without which we cannot live, and speculators of various levels spend an order of magnitude less energy reselling this bread, and earn an order of magnitude more money than this peasant. Today, no one is surprised by the fact that resellers often earn money several times more than producers, and we put up with it. This is how our economy is built, this is how it functions, in this state of affairs it is viable. What is the point of talking about justice then, if without indulging social parasites, it is impossible to build a normal economy? It is better to look for an opportunity to fit into this economy in a way convenient for yourself, than to try to change it. If it is not profitable to produce, we will not produce, we will trade. And others will produce, who are less intelligent and have a lot of health. And then we will see what the society of traders and the society of producers will come to. In the end, in order to sell something, you need to buy something. This truth is true for traders, or, in order to sell something, you need to produce something. This truth is true for creators, for producers. And as we can see, for now, for the common man, it is more profitable to resell products made by other people than to produce them himself. Some intermediaries today are living in clover, without lifting a finger. This does not apply to everything, but in most cases, traders earn more than producers. So the issue of smart money is solved simply. You need to do what is profitable to do. In general, friends, adapt to the system in which you live, work where it is profitable to work, where you have to think with your head, where you need to spend less energy and where you can earn good money. When the number of people who earn money by hard and at the same time really useful for society work becomes smaller, this ungrateful, impudent, selfish, cynical society, which values swindlers, thieves, and speculators, imitating and worshipping them, will be forced to start valuing those who produce, who work a lot and hard. In the meantime, engineers and workers create, and lawyers and economists divide what has been created, and mainly in their favor. This is partly fair, because to produce is one thing, but to use what has been produced wisely is quite another, but still we must admit that the producer is clearly in a corner today, and his work is valued unfairly. Now, to carry out financial fraud, that's cool, that's smart, that's what any self-respecting person who wants to live a very well-fed and contented life should do. Who would dare say that all these bankers, politicians, officials, speculators, big businessmen, in general, all these fat cats, are stupid people? Yes, some of them are terribly primitive, they just stupidly steal money, and openly, brazenly, spitting on all the laws. But it is we who obey them, and not they who obey us. It turns out that it is we, obeying all these moneybags, tolerating their antics, who are primitive primates, regardless of our education, erudition, skills, and all sorts of achievements. Or am I wrong? Thus, while this state of affairs remains, it is more profitable to divide and resell than to produce. Therefore, you have a reference point, then think for yourself what you need to do to come to smart money. Have you heard of at least one mechanic who worked or works at a plant, who became a great man, a millionaire? And I have not heard. Because being a mechanic is not profitable, no matter how you look at this job. I believe that it is appropriate in our time, and not only in our time, but especially in our time, to go into the field of finance. You know, when you count and distribute money, you understand how illusory their power really is, and how easy it is to earn this money if you just understand it. And in general, you must agree, it even sounds beautiful. Smart money is earned by the one who manages it, who divides it, counts it, and even prints it. Do you think that central banks, by printing money, deprive themselves of this money? And the banks that manage cash flows and, as some of their representatives say, trade in risks, are they, in the person of their privileged representatives, in poverty? It doesn't look like it. Let's say now, during the crisis, sales of cheap cars in Russia have fallen sharply, while sales of premium cars have grown. What does this mean? It means that the rich have gotten rich during the crisis. Thanks to it they are living in luxury, while most people are becoming poor. For you guys, food and medicine are expensive so that you fight for your survival, and for us, new cars and luxurious holidays abroad so that we can live for our own pleasure. There is no crisis in reality, it's just that the rich are robbing the poor and calling it a crisis. And we can safely call the majority of people poor, no matter who they are, what they think of themselves. If a person is forced to toil all day for money, no matter what job he has, he is poor. Unfortunately, public propaganda does not allow us to understand what we should do and why, what tasks are beneficial for us to solve in our lives and what are not. Because this propaganda serves the interests of those who exploit us, and not our personal interests. Although, of course, any of us can become an exploiter, but still, the interests of an individual in our society are of no interest to anyone except this individual himself. So propaganda imposes on people such types of activities, doing which many of them eventually realize that something is going wrong in their lives, that they made a mistake in something, that they made the wrong choice. What is beneficial for us to do? Life shows us, which distributes people in the social pyramid to places to which they really correspond. And when we see with our own eyes that our status in society is objectively not very high, we can safely say to ourselves that we are nothing special. And it doesn't matter what education each of us has, how many books we've read, and how much money we earn. After all, if we earn it by the sweat of our brow, spending a lot of energy and time on this process, and other people command us, then we are not smart at all and, therefore, we cannot earn truly smart money. Whether we want it or not, we are very often forced to obey other people's rules, contrary to our wishes. Other people, who are better at something more important than us, drag us along better and therefore occupy a higher position in our hierarchical society, subjugate us to their will. And it doesn't matter how unique and high-tech a miracle thing we create, it doesn't matter how brilliant our creation turns out to be, what matters is who gets the most from this creation of ours, that one will turn out to be smarter. Well, this is true, my very humble opinion, and I can be wrong, I am human, so you cannot attach too much importance to my words, so as not to become disappointed in yourself and your life. So, in my opinion, in order to earn smart money, you need to be, of course, objectively smart, and also a special, rare, bright and very high-quality person, so that you are valued, so that you are practically irreplaceable. You must be needed, hopes must be placed on you, you must be loved and respected, only then will no money be spared for you, no matter what your price. Scarce goods are always valued higher than non-scarce goods, sometimes even regardless of their characteristics. That is why some people buy rare paintings, rare jewelry and, in general, premium goods, which not everyone can afford. They want to have what other people do not have, because they want to be better than others. In general, it should be noted that the human need for superiority over others is very well monetized today. And if you become such a rare, scarce person, who is not easy to replace, and who society will need, then you will be able not only to profitably sell yourself to this society, but also, if you wish, you will be able to subjugate it. And when people work for you, and not you for them, and you get most of what they have earned, you earn smart money. You see, you must be a cut above the majority, so that it serves you, and not you serve it and adapt to it. Ordinary people are such people, of whom, like dirt, there are many everywhere. Replace one blockhead with another and no one will even notice the difference. But special people, not ordinary, let's say, they are difficult to replace and difficult to brush off. They clearly stand out against the background of a gray and faceless crowd, thanks to their personal qualities. To become such a person, you need to make yourself such. You need to teach yourself everything that will allow you to become the best in those types of activities that, as we found out above, are profitable for you to do in our time. Of course, you can have a good job, where you will be highly valued and earn well, but you will agree that earning money at the expense of someone else's labor is both more pleasant and more profitable. This way of earning money, when we lead people, and not they us, allows us to satisfy not only our instinct for food, but also the instinct for dominance, and there are fewer problems with human reproduction if he is a big man. So, why shouldn't such a person be happy if he really dominates other people, has a lot of money, and has no problems with sex? In general, it makes sense for a person to develop his strengths. I have repeatedly emphasized this. To occupy a good position in society is not just a natural desire for any healthy person, it is his instinctive need. There will always be people for dirty work that does not require any intelligence. In low-intellect work there are no irreplaceable people, there are only irreplaceable ones. But for complex work, we need really smart people. I would even say that smart people do not even look for work at all, they create it for others. Do not exploit your body, learn to exploit other people's bodies. This has always been a more profitable occupation, but also more difficult. Nevertheless, if you are interested in smart money and want to really achieve something serious in life, you, I am sure, will make all the necessary efforts for the competent development of yourself, both with the help of other people and at the expense of your own strength. On the same internet, there are enough people who can teach you things that are important to you. You just need to decide to study with them, not sparing for this matter, neither money, nor time, nor your efforts. It will be better for you if you spend your efforts on developing yourself, than you spend a huge amount of them on pleasing your master, who may throw you a bigger bone, and perhaps will not, may promote you, and perhaps just throw you out on the street like a puppy. My friends, smart money is smart because it is available only to a small number of the smartest people, truly smart, and not those who consider themselves to be so. No matter how hard you try, a person with money and power is objectively smarter than those who have neither power nor money. Why? Because his chances of survival and successful continuation of the family line are an order of magnitude higher, and you, if something happens, will not be able to pay for good medicine, nor will you be able to buy yourself out of court, nor will you be able to protect yourself from total violence. As the popular saying goes, do not fight with the strong, do not sue the rich. That's the whole truth of life. And your truth is of no use to anyone in this world. A smart person is one who is truly strong and who knows how to achieve his goals, and not one who knows a lot of things.